I am 93 years old, and let me tell you the darkest secret about aging that your doctor is too polite to say. The real terror of getting older is not the end of life. It is the deep, comfortable armchair in your living room, the one you suddenly cannot get out of without rocking back and forth 3 times and holding your breath. They tell you it is just part of the process. They tell you to eat a light dinner, maybe some soup and crackers, because your metabolism is slowing down. That is a lie that is quietly paralyzing millions. If you are eating a light, empty dinner, you are quite literally dissolving your own leg muscles while you sleep. Your body is cannibalizing your thighs to keep your organs running. Today I am going to tell you exactly what you must consume before you close your eyes at night, if you ever want to stand up from that chair with dignity again. We are going to stop this silent decay right now. If you refuse to surrender your independence, I need you with me. Subscribe to this channel and tell me your age and where you are watching from in the comments below. We are in this trench together. Look at your legs. Really look at them. Remember when they were just transportation? You never thought about them. You just stood up and they carried you across the room, down the stairs, across the ice, through the years. You did not have to negotiate with your knees or bargain with your thighs. But aging does not announce itself with a trumpet blast. It sneaks into your house like a thief in the night, and it steals you, ounce by ounce, starting from the ground up. I remember the exact morning I realized I was being robbed. I was 81. I was sitting in my favorite leather chair, the one by the window. I finished my morning coffee, placed the mug on the side table, and commanded my body to stand. And for the first time in 8 decades, my body hesitated. It was just a fraction of a second, a tiny mechanical failure in the transmission between my brain and my legs. I had to push down on the armrests. I felt the cold sweat of realization. That is the moment the world shifts. Society has a very cruel way of pacifying us when this happens. They smile with that patronizing pity and say things like, "Well, you are slowing down. It is just the circle of life. Take it easy." They wrap you in a blanket of toxic comfort. They want you to accept the shrinking of your world. First, you stop taking the stairs. Then, you stop stepping off the curb if there is no ramp. Then, you avoid the low sofa at your daughter's house because you know the humiliating struggle it will take to get back up. You laugh it off, make a joke about your creaky joints. But inside, a quiet terror is taking root. You are losing your physical autonomy. You are becoming a passenger in your own life. This thief has a clinical name, sarcopenia, the age-related loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength. But I call it the silent surrender. It is not just the loss of tissue, it is the loss of freedom. It is the difference between going to the bathroom on your own and ringing a bell to have someone wipe you. Do not look away from that reality. Do not sugarcoat it with empty motivational garbage about age being just a number. Age is a biological reality, a relentless force that demands a fierce, calculated defense. If you do not actively fight it, gravity and time will pull you down into that chair permanently. You see, muscle is not just for bodybuilders. For us, for the older generation, muscle is metabolic armor. It is the very foundation of our independence. Every pound of muscle you lose is a step closer to a nursing home. And the tragic irony is that most of us are accelerating this decay without even knowing it. We follow outdated advice. We listen to cultural habits that belong to a different era. We think we are doing the right thing by shrinking our appetites to match our shrinking worlds. We are told to eat less, to eat lighter, to avoid heavy things, and in doing so, we are starving our armor. We are leaving the vault door wide open for the thief. This brings us to the most dangerous meal of the day, dinner. Think about the typical advice given to seniors. Eat like a king in the morning, a prince in the afternoon, and a pauper at night. How many times have you heard that a heavy meal before bed is bad for your digestion, bad for your sleep? So what do? We have a bowl of vegetable soup. We have a piece of toast with a thin scrape of butter, a small salad, a cup of tea. We go to bed feeling light, proud of our discipline, believing we are taking care of our aging hearts and waistlines. Let me tell you exactly what happens in the dark when you do this. You fall asleep. Your body, despite being old, is still a miraculous, demanding engine. Even in sleep, it needs energy to repair cells, to keep the lungs pumping, to keep the heart beating. But because you ate a pauper's dinner, your digestive tract is empty by midnight. The blood sugar drops, the liver empties its reserves, and the body sounds an internal alarm. It needs amino acids, the building blocks of life, to maintain your vital organs. Where does it get them? It goes to the largest storage facility you have, your skeletal muscle, your thighs, your calves, your glutes. While you are dreaming of the past, your body is literally eating your legs to survive the night. It breaks down the muscle tissue you desperately need to stand up the next morning, converting it into fuel. This is a nightly cycle of self-cannibalization. Over weeks, months, and years, this light dinner trap hollows you out. You wake up feeling weaker, a little more fragile, a little more unsteady on your feet, and you blame it on the calendar. You say, well, I am another day older. No, you are another day starved. The medical community knows this, but they are too busy managing your blood pressure and your cholesterol to talk to you about the structural integrity of your legs. They hand you a prescription and send you on your way. But a pill will not help you get off the toilet. A pill will not catch you when you trip on a rug. Only dense, firing muscle fibers can do that. And you cannot build or maintain those fibers if you are fasting for 12 hours every night without the right defense mechanism in place. Before I reveal the exact nutritional protocol that stops this nightly decay, I need you to equip yourself with the full arsenal. I have compiled a comprehensive no-nonsense guide detailing the precise daily routines, the hidden traps in modern medicine, and the unvarnished truth about preserving your physical autonomy. I am not going to let you face this alone. Go to the pinned comment right below this video. There is a link there. Click it, read it, and use it. It is the blueprint for keeping your dignity intact. Now, back to the dark hours of the night. You must understand that older bodies process nutrients differently than young bodies. When we were 30, our muscles responded easily to whatever we ate. Now we have anabolic resistance. Our muscles are stubborn. They are hard of hearing. You have to shout at them with the right nutrients to get them to synthesize protein. A piece of toast is silence. A bowl of broth is a whisper. They do absolutely nothing to stop the nightly harvest of your leg muscles. You are effectively putting yourself into a state of severe physical decline just to avoid a little indigestion. It is a terrible trade. So how do we barricade the door? How do we tell the body to leave our legs alone and actually rebuild them while we sleep? The answer is not just protein. It is a very specific type of protein. It is the slow release mechanism. You need something that will sit in your digestive tract and slowly drip feed amino acids into your bloodstream for hours and hours, keeping the body fueled until morning. This is the nocturnal secret of reconstruction, casein. It is a dairy protein that coagulates in the stomach, forming a gel that takes up to 7 hours to fully break down. If you consume a dense source of casein right before you go to sleep, you are fundamentally changing your biology. You are flipping the switch from muscle breakdown to muscle preservation. I am talking about a cup of heavy cottage cheese, or a thick serving of plain, full-fat Greek yogurt, not the sugary flavored nonsense they sell in the bright packaging. Real, dense, unadulterated dairy. If you are lactose intolerant, there are specific slow-digesting plant blends or casein powders that do the same thing. But you must ingest it within 30 minutes of your head hitting the pillow. When you do this, midnight strikes, and instead of your body sending a distress signal and attacking your thighs, it draws from the slow, steady drip of amino acids in your stomach. Your legs are spared. In fact, if you have moved them during the day, they are repaired. You wake up not having lost a fraction of an inch of your physical independence. I started doing this when I was 82, right after that terrifying morning in the leather chair. I stopped the tea and toast. I started eating a heavy bowl of cottage cheese at 10 o'clock at night. At first it felt wrong. It went against everything the television doctors had preached. But within a month, the hesitation was gone. The trembling in the knees when I stood up vanished. I was no longer a victim of my own metabolism. I was commanding it. This is not a miracle cure. Do not expect to eat a bowl of yogurt and suddenly run a marathon. That is the kind of toxic optimism I despise. This is about structural defense. It is about stopping the bleeding. It is a harsh biological tactic to keep you on your feet. The medical establishment worries about your weight. They worry about the numbers on a blood test. I worry about whether you can walk to your own mailbox without a walker. I worry about the look of sheer panic in an elder's eyes when they realize they have fallen and cannot get up. You have to choose your hard. It is hard to change your eating habits after 70 or 80 years. It is hard to eat when you might not feel incredibly hungry before bed. But I promise you, it is infinitely harder to lie on your back in a hospital bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for a nurse to come turn you over, because you lack the strength to do it yourself. That is a darkness I will not allow you to walk into blindly. But food alone is just the brick and mortar. You still need the architect. You still need the blueprint. And that blueprint is demand. Your body is fiercely efficient. If you do not demand that it uses those legs, it will not waste the energy maintaining them, no matter how much cottage cheese you eat before bed. You must give those leg muscles a brutal, undeniable reason to exist. I am not talking about water aerobics. I am not talking about gentle stretching or sitting in a chair lifting 2-pound pink dumbbells. That is playtime. That is society treating you like a fragile piece of glass. I am talking about functional, heavy resistance. I am talking about standing in front of your kitchen counter, holding the edge, and lowering yourself down into a squat until your thighs scream, and then forcing yourself back up. I am talking about doing that until you cannot do another repetition. The muscle fibers in your legs need to be torn microscopically so they can rebuild stronger using that nighttime protein. They need to know that survival depends on them carrying your weight. When I was 90, I made a rule for myself. I will never use my hands to get out of a chair. Never. I will sit at the edge, plant my feet, lean forward, and force my legs to bear the entire burden of my existence. Some days it hurts. Some days my joints ache with the memory of nearly a century of gravity. But the pain of exertion is the currency of freedom. Do you understand the stakes here? We are not trying to look good in a swimsuit. We are fighting for the fundamental right to remain human, to be a participant in life rather than a spectator. Every time you surrender a physical task to someone else because it is getting difficult, you are driving a nail into the coffin of your independence. When you let your son carry the groceries because they are heavy, you lose the strength to lift them. When you take the elevator for one flight of stairs because your knees feel stiff, you lose the ability to climb. You must become fiercely jealous of your physical struggles. Guard them. They are yours. Do not let anyone take them away out of misplaced kindness. When they say, "Let me do that for you," you look them in the eye and say, "No, I need to do this myself." Because the day you stop doing it is the day you stop being the master of your own steps. Look around your living room tonight. Look at the furniture. Look at the stairs. These are not just objects in a house. They are the testing grounds. They are the daily battlefield where you either win your dignity or lose it. The choice is made every single evening when the sun goes down. Will you choose the empty comfort of a light stomach and wake up weaker? Or will you fuel the machine, demand more of your fading fibers, and stand up tomorrow with the strength of someone who refuses to go quietly? I am 93. I still walk my own stairs. I still stand up from the deep leather armchair without using my arms. It is not because of genetics. It is not because of luck. It is because I refuse to starve my armor, and I refuse to let gravity win without a fight. Eat the protein. Demand the strength. Own your steps, because nobody else can walk this path for you.